Quick story. A girl and a guy met and fall for each other. They both love music, so decide to work together. And they were pretty good at it. Now on the surface, everything looked perfect. But oh, the stress of the city. So they decided otherwise. They packed up and left for the countryside. And that's where we meet this family, raising their children, growing their own food and their business together, on a quest to find a new normal and a new sense of happiness. And if you're looking for the same thing, then join us and we can unpack this thing called life together. Where are my manners? Let me introduce myself. I'm Shamel Olwago, my husband's Amondi Olwago, and together we are Nile Ochi. And this is Z-Quest. Hello and welcome to another episode of Z-Quest Exclusives. I'm your host Shamel Olwago and I'm here with my lovely husband Amondi Olwago, and together we are Nile Ochi. Welcome back, or if it's your first time, welcome. We're happy to have you here. So today we're actually going to be talking about what?
Scarcity, food scarcity.
Food scarcity. Now, I know it might seem like a subject that isn't going to bother most people for the time being. But then it made me think, with all these changes happening with COVID and everything else, you kind of think, it was only a matter of 3 days or 4 days where people were told, if you go to the shops, that everything might be empty. And for the first time in a long time, we've had to face that as a reality in the so-called first world.
Yep.
So how does that make us feel? How are we dealing with it? What are we going to do about it? And how can we cope for the next time or the probable next time?
Well, the question is there enough food for everyone?
Is there?
Yeah, that's...
Do you think that people are producing enough food for everyone?
I don't think so. What I think that inevitably some people go without it. And we don't really hear about it. Like, if you exclude COVID,
mm-hmm.
we never really question, nobody really questioned if there's enough food for everybody.
Yeah, because they had so-called enough. Do you think? Well, that raises a lot of questions.
It is true that if we keep on farming the way we are doing now, then I think it's in 70 years or 50 years from now, we will run out.
Do you think the issue is that we're farming? It's the farming that we're not farming enough, or do you think the issue is that we're eating too much?
Well, I think
because we eat a lot over here, don't we?
We do. I think we're wasting too much. But you know what? The thing is, what COVID showed us is that we're not prepared. It's like all of a sudden we needed way more food than usually.
Yeah.
So, I'm not saying that the food wasn't there because we're talking. We're talking about a small amount of time, like we're talking about only a few months.
Yeah.
But if that was to prolong itself until, I don't know, 10 years, maybe more, 20 years, I'm not sure we're prepared for that.
True.
Now, of course, it's COVID, but I'm talking in the sense that it gave us a sense of scarcity when the food run out.
And the toilet roll, innit?
Yeah, and the toilet roll, exactly, for the one who uses it.
That's
Some
true.
culture don't use toilet roll.
True. And they're better off. They weren't sweating none of this.
Exactly.
That's true.
Now, what I'm saying is like, COVID is one thing, but at the same time we'll be warned that if things keep going that way, we will experience that 10 times, 20 times over.
Yeah.
Maybe even more.
What do you think as individuals that we can do about it?
I think we need to come back to reality. I think today a farmer produces for like 1,000 people.
I don't even know if it's that much.
I think today one farmer produces food for 1,000 people, I think, per year.
Mm-hmm.
And back in the day, and what I'm saying back in the day is before the supermarket was there.
Before the industrialization of farming.
Exactly.
Yeah.
One farmer used to feed. I might say something wrong, but
I'm going to check.
Check it. I think it was something like, one farmer was producing food for under 100 people, which is a huge difference.
Well, according to some agriculture and food, they said, this is America though, as of 2020, one farmer feeds 166 people annually.
Okay, wow, maybe I got my facts wrong. I mean,
it's less than what you think. Does that make you more scared?
Yeah, maybe maybe I added a 0, so I think probably yes, 1 for 100 and something people, and back in the day was like 1 for 10 people. I mean,
yeah, but then this has to be said annually. So that means that farmer can feed 166 people the whole year.
Yes.
So to speak.
Yeah.
It's still a lot.
Yeah.
It's a lot of people to have to feed.
Yeah, it is.
It is a lot of people to have to feed.
I mean, I'm not saying nobody, but a lot of people don't want to farm. Period. I mean, they don't see themselves farming even for themselves.
Yeah.
And that's fine. I'm not saying that everyone should do it. But there's a lot of people in the world.
Yeah, and they've all got to eat.
So how are we going to manage this? Let alone the farming style we're doing now, it's not sustainable. And it's actually, we're running out of fertilizer, which then is going to cause a problem. So food scarcity, it's going to happen at some point.
There's two ways to look at this. There's from the farming side, and then there's from the consuming side. Well, one do you want to tackle first?
Farmer side.
All right, so you're a farmer and you want to earn some money and you want to live. You want to live decent. Yeah?
Yeah.
So you've got 166 people on average to feed for the year.
Mm-hmm.
So there are so many people in the world, you know that you could feed more.
Yeah.
If you had to.
Yeah.
However, then there's so many different, what do you call them over here? It's the company that comes and...
cooperatives.
Cooperatives that come and take from you and buy it from you to then go and sell it to the supermarkets.
Yeah.
So in actual fact, it's becoming less and less attractive for them to even provide for the few people they do provide for.
Oh, of course, I can only imagine.
Because they're being squeezed out.
Yeah.
You know, they're always, we're in France now. They are literally, every year, you got farmers stacking up hay and tires and burning it in the street or in the middle of the motorway as a protest.
Yeah.
It happens all the time, every year, and it's happened every year since I have been here.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
So we're talking over a decade here.
Mm-hmm.
And quite honestly, I think that could play a huge part in the fact that there's going to be scarcity because the job doesn't look attractive anymore.
Yeah, but I think also it's, even if you get more farmers, we are farming, our farming style is monoculture, as you know, and we know it's unsustainable. So what are the other solutions, even from a farmer's perspective?
Well, I'm just taking it simply from our perspective as far as being able to grow your own food. I think that's part of the solution.
But that's for an individual.
Yes,
but a farmer that chooses that as a career.
Well, that's fine.
And you know they can't, like, they know increasing the number of farmers, it is not going to sort it.
No, because there has to be, but there's so many mouths to feed. It's a good business to get into, providing that you can meander the cooperatives. And also, if you can say to yourself, all right, I'm going to find another sustainable way to farm.
Absolutely. Yeah.
You're going to have to make that transition at some point, though.
Yeah.
But slowly transition. It's a difficult transition, especially if you're...
I was talking the other day, we've got like a guy that sells apples near us, and they are organic apples now. I mean, he's trying to transition, even him to transition as an organic farmer. He was saying that difficulty is, and they don't really care about the quality of the apple per se. They just only care about how much pesticide is in the land. And I say, even if the apple is organic, he won't get the label because it's just, his land has to be organic. And then that's what he was saying. And he was saying that basically almost regretting it to transition to trying to become organic.
Well, what I've noticed is
he's still gonna do it, but it's just like, wow, they don't make it worth it. And that is another thing
they're trying to deter you in one way or the other.
Yeah, it seems like it.
It seems that way.
Yeah.
But the thing is, I've noticed the difference in the apples since they've been organic.
You know what?
They're uglier.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
That's just facts.
So we are used to, even as a consumer, to perfection, yeah.
Yeah, and I don't mind them being uglier. Their taste is the same.
Yeah.
It hasn't jaded their taste one bit.
No. Hasn't increased it.
No.
And that's something.
So now, as a product, what you've done is taken value away from your customer. I see it from that point of view.
But you know what?
But then look what you've given them on a health benefit. But the people don't like what they don't. People don't care about what they can't see.
Yeah, but you know what? The thing is, because it's a transition, and because we're talking about really poor soils.
Yeah.
Then maybe that's why the organic apple right now doesn't taste anything much more than what the regular apples are.
I see, because we're in a transitional period where it's like
going to take a lot more.
Once this soil gets back to health,
to fix
these apples are going to be on point.
The soil, exactly.
Yeah.
And perhaps that is the problem. And now maybe this doesn't make it worth it for them to even try to change the farming style.
I think there's an awakening happening where people are becoming more conscious about eating organically and trying to stay away from pesticides.
Yeah.
So as far as that's concerned, it still is added value.
Yeah. However, the thing is, think about it. If it's not sustainable, even now, like if we're going to run out, and because there's not enough of us growing food, because it's what it is in the right way.
Yeah.
So even if there's more people wanting to eat organic, it's still not fixing the problem.
No, because there's not enough organic farmers then to feed them.
No, exactly. Because because when you produce organically, it's not realistic to produce as much as we are producing now.
No, with
less people doing it.
Yeah, but then that's the thought now. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We've been used to this aggressive type of, monoculture, industrialized agriculture.
Yeah.
That's what we've been used to. So we're looking and comparing everything to those numbers. But back in the day, people used to be just fine. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. But back in the day, I mean, I remember when I was a kid, a lot more people had we call it in French verger, which is like you're growing, like you have a field and then you're growing some apple for yourself, some pears and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So more people actually
were growing their own. And then there was a lot of exchanging happening as well.
Feeding themselves.
Well, this is the thing. Do we have to go back to partially feeding ourselves?
I believe that will help. But I can understand that when you are not from that culture, it might be a really hard decision to make and transition to do.
You're a farm boy, so
yeah,
it wasn't really a hard transition for you because I guess you grew up with it, but I'm not from that.
Yeah,
I'm not from there.
But you hippie, so
yeah,
so you're pretty up there anyway.
Yeah, fine, true.
Where is she? She's somewhere in the field, just minding her own business.
True that.
Like, oh, okay.
True.
Right, okay.
It's true, but what?
So I don't think it was going to be hard for you. That's what I'm trying to say.
It wasn't. In fact, I insisted on it even before we had.
Exactly.
Because the thing is, there'll always be farmers needed because of the fact there's always going to be people who don't want to farm or cannot farm.
Yeah, no, but that's right. But it's the ratio, I think then the ratio farmer and consumer, is disproportionate.
Yeah.
Right now we've been used to one farmer being able to produce so much.
Thank you for listening. Now for full exclusive episodes, go on to nileochi.com and join our Patreon.